sa ating sports banter, makakasama natin siyempre ang batikang sports journalist mula sa Radyo Pilipinas 2, si Aaron Bayato. So,
ako, idol ko yan.
Idol ko ito. Good afternoon, Sir Aaron. Welcome to BTV Sports.
Yes, good afternoon, Daryl, Paolo. Grabe yung batikan. Ano lang ako, simpleng taga-kwento lang ako ng mga nangyayari.
Grabe, di ba? Napaka-humble. Idol ko talaga
yun. Facts yun. Simpleng kwento lang yun. But thank you for having us. Thank you.
Ito, Sir Aaron, pag-usapan naman natin yung, kumbaga, nalalapit na yung kampanya ng ating Philippine men's football team dito sa ASEAN Mitsubishi Electric Cup. And recently, nailabas na rin po yung lineup ng ating Philippine football team. Your thoughts po regarding po dito sa lineup natin for this year's ASEAN Mitsubishi Electric Cup?
So, first of all, of course, bilang fans and Filipinos, we're calling on everyone, lalo na sa mga sports fans natin, of whatever sport, na supportahan natin itong national athletes natin. 26 national athletes wearing the tricolors na lalaban sa mga friends natin sa Southeast Asia for the Mitsubishi Electric Cup. It's been a while since nagkaroon ng hype yung ating pambansang kupunan sa men's football, given, of course, sa naging tagumpay ng ating women's football sa New Zealand sa World Cup, and then yung mga naging historic achievements nila sa Asian Cup. So, this time, sa men's football, sa new management ng federation natin, Philippine Football Federation, they're looking to get some grounds. It's not been easy. Medyo may mga roller coaster of results. Of course, we had their first win since a long while no sa Kings Cup. Pero natalo tayo sa Hong Kong, unfortunately. So, recently, yung mga ibang mga teammates natin sa ibang network nakapanayam, si Ginoong Freddy Gonzalez, isa sa mga director sa mga national teams natin. Na medyo nahihirapan sila magkuha ng mga players dahil, number one, hindi ito part ng FIFA window. When we say FIFA window, obliged yung mga mother clubs of all leagues around the globe na okay, itong player na to si Daryl na naglalaro sa, let's say, sa Bayern Munich pwede maglaro kasi nasa FIFA window naman. Si Daryl na nasa Real Madrid pwede maglaro. So, we have the likes of Gerrit Holtman, Kevin Ray Mendoza, Manny Ott, if I recall correctly, na baka hindi natin makasama unless by a miracle mag-decide yung mga mother clubs nila na, sige, pwede na kayo maglaro sa national team. It's understandable. So, the 26-man lineup, of course, syempre, team captain Patrick Reichelt and the rest of the squad. Ito yung mga teams na binuo ni Coach Albert Capellos na nakita niya at nagtitiwala siya na nakita niya sa Hong Kong match that could spark some interest and perhaps give yung ating bansa maybe and hopefully ma-break natin yung ating drought of not making it to the Final Four. Kasi sa grupo natin, kailangan natin makaabante within the top 2 o mag-placing within the top 2 para makapasok tayo sa semifinals ng Mitsubishi Electric Cup.
Ito si Aaron, no? Nabanggit mo nga, kumbaga, series roller coaster na yung campaign natin this past few years for the Philippine men's football team, and now we have a new head coach with Sir Albert Capellos. Base po sa nakita nyo sa ilang games na po na na-handle niya po ang ating Philippine men's football team, kung siya naman po si Sir Albert in handling our national team? Well,
definitely, doon pa siya sa testing every ability, looking at the data nung bawat mga manlalarong nabubuo ng mga coaches and the management ng ating men's football team. There's also a growing confidence among the squad na nagugustuhan nila yung camaraderie ng bawat isa. Obviously, hindi masaya yung ilang karamihan ng mga fans pag natatalo. Gano'n naman talaga yung narrative doon. But he is pinning his hopes noong time na I think nakapanayam natin siya sa isang establishment sa lungsod ng Makati nung pinakita yung trophy for the Mitsubishi Electric Cup na they're very hopeful and confident na somehow the talent na meron yung mga manlalaro natin like Santi Rublico and the rest of the squad can bring more energy. And of course, syempre, sa magiging suporta ng fans. The fans, especially those who have been following the men's football team, formerly known as the Philippine Ascals, talagang baga lose or lose. They've been there to the point na talagang they're giving an earful to the players, lalo na sa mga kaibigan natin sa Ultras pag natatalo, to give them yung kanilang comments. So it's very important then as well to the fans. Very, especially crucial for the fans to troop sa stadium natin sa Rizal para supportahan ang ating squad.
So you're on a very challenging group for the Philippines. So we have Myanmar, and then Vietnam, Indonesia, and then Laos in this 4 games po for the knockout stages. Kumusta naman po yung matchup natin dito sa 4 po na bansa po na ito? Tingin niyo po, sino po dito yung mga kaya po nating talunin or possibly na mahirapan tayo this knockout stage po ng Mitsubishi Electric Cup?
So, Daryl and Boss Pao, Boss Daryl, on paper, we should win against Myanmar and Laos. Kasi by rankings, I think nasa 149 tayo. Respectively, yung mga friends and neighbors natin sa Myanmar and Laos are ranked lower. Unfortunately, dahil sa Hong Kong, natalo tayo kahit na rank lower ang Hong Kong. But I hope hindi na maulit yun. Should we take care of those games? They're both home and away. Yung match natin sa Myanmar this coming Thursday, alas 6:30 sa Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. And then kung manalo tayo against sa Laos sa Vientiane, we're in a good position to at least, of course, syempre yung recovery ng squad heading into the upcoming big matches against yung mga fellow ASEAN rivals na rin pwede natin tawagin, which is Vietnam and Indonesia.
So, Aaron, I think ang pinakamataas na finish ng Pilipinas dito is semifinals lang. And then I think yun din yung year, yung Miracle of Hanoi, yung if I'm wrong or right dun sa taon na yun kasi bata ako. Medyo bata ako po nung kapanahonan ng Miracle of Hanoi. Pero tingin mo, Sir Aaron, sa trajectory ng ating Philippine men's football team, do you think malapit na rin natin, kumbaga, ma-sense ulit yung ganong klaseng feeling, yung Miracle of Hanoi na kaya natin ipanalo ulit yung mga games natin? Kahit dito mas mismo muna lang sa ating sa region sa Southeast Asia.
There's this weird feeling actually sa ating mga fellow football fans or soccer followers sa Pilipinas. Kasi yung mga kapitbahay natin sa ASEAN who definitely loves football at talagang yun yung parang religion nila meron silang hindi mahanap na data or parang hindi nila tayo ma-predict kung malakas ba tayo or hindi. So medyo worry yung mga Southeast Asian neighbors natin, especially with Indonesia, na reportedly, parang B-team nila ipapadala dahil naghahanda kasi ang Indonesia sa kanila pang, I think, 4th round for them to make a return to the FIFA World Cup, which is, of course, the most important football competition sa mundo. But then, of course, Vietnam did not make it to the to compete for the World Cup. So, Vietnam is all eyes of dominating the group. But given yun nga, it's been a while since nagkaroon ng parang ganitong klaseng hype yung mga fans, at especially within the football community. Because we believe and we are very hopeful dun sa talent na pinapakita ng mga kids. I can say kids kasi karamihan na sa kanila, mga bata pa kaysa sa atin. And hopefully, ito yung maging cornerstone na bubuuin ni Ginoong Capellas moving forward. But of course, syempre important din na it's been a while since we've been in the Final Four. So let's make let's work it out and hopefully things will work out. Let's have a great Christmas with the Philippines qualifying to the Final Four ng Mitsubishi Electric Cup.
Ito nga, nabanggit nyo na rin po yung mga fans natin. Kumbaga, 2 of our 4 games dito sa ASEAN Mitsubishi Electric Cup is dito gaganapin sa Pilipinas. So, gaano ka-vital na lang po yung role ng fans, kumbaga, para mas lalong ganahan po yung ating men's team na maglaro dito po sa turnayong pong ito?
Excuse me. Simply to put it this way, yung ating women's team got the championship sa ASEAN Championships because of the fans that trooped sa Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. Talagang they relied on it given the compressed schedule. So kung gaano yung karabid at passionate yung naging, sorry for the term, passionate pala, yung naging suporta natin sa women's football team. Sana ganun ulit yung maging suporta natin sa ating men's football team because could say it's now or never for the squad. They have nararamdaman din nila, kumbaga there's this ray of light for them to make it, hopefully make an historic return to the semifinals itong Mitsubishi Electric Cup. So very important. Of course, the cornerstone. Without fans, ang ating any national teams will have a hard time of dealing against adversity.
Ayan, mukhang umiinit na ang ating usapang football dito sa Sports Banter. Pero sa ating pagbabalik, makasama ulit natin si Sir Aaron Bayato para pag-usapan naman ang mga nagaganap sa F1. Ang lahat ng yan sa pagbabalik ng PTV Sports.
PTV Crime Watch, mga paalala laban sa human trafficking. Ang Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act ay batas na ipinasa upang wakasan ang human trafficking sa bansa. Layunin nitong protektahan ang mga biktima, lalo na ang mga kababaihan at kabataan. Sa ilalim ng batas, bawal ang pagre-recruit, pagkulong at pagbabiyahe ng mga tao patungo o palabas ng bansa gamit ang pagbabanta, panlilinlang, pamimilit at pag-aabuso ng kapangyarihan para sila ay ipasok sa prostitusyon, sa pilitang pagtatrabaho, pangaalipin, pagbebenta ng human organs at iba pang uri ng pananamantala. Kumilos laban sa human trafficking. Alamin ang inyong mga karapatan at makipag-ugnayan sa mga organisasyon at ahensya ng pamahalaan na maaaring magbigay proteksyon. Huwag basta maniwala sa mga nag-aalok ng trabaho, lalo na sa text at social media, at i-report ang anumang gawaing kahina-hinala. Problema ng human trafficking. Disaster Watch. Alamin ang mga dapat ilagay sa go bag bilang paghahanda sa anumang sakuna. Maglagay ng tubig na maiinom at mga pagkaing hindi madaling masira. Maglaan ng espasyo para sa first aid kit at survival kit para sa mga hindi inaasahang pangyayari. Huwag kalimutan ang toiletries para mapanatili ang kalinisan sa katawan. Samahan din ang mga damit at beddings na magtatagal ng ilang araw. At para ligtas at may alam, magdala ng personal protective equipment at mga teknikal na gamit. Sa panahon ng kalamidad, dapat laging listo.
Babalik ang PTV Sports. Nako, nandito pa rin po makakasama natin si Sir Aaron Bayatong, aking idol, no, upang pag-usapan ng topic natin sa F1. Sir, maraming salamat po sa pagpunta rito, no, Sir. Unang tanong, unahin natin si Bianca Bustamante, no. Ano ba yung mga pwede mo niyo po ba ibahagi sa amin yung mga kaganapan ngayon kay Bianca Bustamante? F1 Academy, tama ba, Sir? Ano bang pwede nating mapag-usapan about that?
Okay, actually dapat babalik ko rin sa tanong. Bakit dapat nasa Abu Dhabi tayo ngayon eh, no? Tara. Okay, natapos na yung F1 Academy. Kanina lang, actually, mga 30 minutes ago. Unfortunately, si Bianca sa kanyang huling race for race number 3, she finished P14 or 14th place. She was initially around running 4th or 5th during race 3 sa Yas Marina Circuits for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix ng F1 Academy. Kaso nagkaroon siya ng penalty due to nag-dive bomb kasi siya sa mga Formula 1, sa mga hindi Formula 1 fans. Dive bomb yung talagang parang you went into the inside line tapos you attempted parang kamikaze overtake. Kaso nabangga mo na yung isang competitor mo. So she was penalized for causing a collision. Beyond that, gayon pa man, she finished with 16 points throughout the 3 races ng Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. P5 nung race 1, P7 nung race 2. Kaya 3 races dun sa Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Yung isang round kasi sa Doha, Qatar was cancelled yung race 2 dahil due to safety concerns. May mga inayos na hindi naiayos on time sa pagdating sa mga safety barriers. So, mahigpit ang FIA pagdating sa safety. So, they decided to cancel the race and just idaos na lang na 3 races sa Abu Dhabi. Bianca Bustamante had obviously a tough F1 Academy season. Nung last year kasi nakuha siya ng 2 panalo. Pero dito, she was only able to score a podium, 1 podium finish sa Miami nung race 2, which also became a double celebration dahil under siya na McLaren Development Program. And during that time, McLaren also won with Lando Norris sa US Grand Prix, but that's another topic. But naging hopefully with this being reported that si Bianca ay hindi magre-renew for the F1 Academy. So let's see kung ano yung magiging next steps niya, kung pwede ba siya umangat into F3 or iba pa mga racing series around the globe. Definitely and hopefully hindi siya mawawalan ng drive. Kumbaga, she will still be employed or racing into various series. But it's definitely something na for Bianca na siguro to reflect on her journey with ART. Yun yung team niya. And then yung McLaren, of course, under the McLaren umbrella racing development program. And gain those experiences, of course, syempre sa mga iba pang mga coaching na binibigay ng squad niya. Gayon din, syempre, parang teammates na rin kasi yung dalawang senior McLaren drivers doon na sina Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. She can able to learn and continue to fly the Philippine flag in whatever series na masusundan niya. Of course, syempre lahat kasi nung si Bianca and the rest of the ladies competing sa F1 Academy, ang pangarap talaga nila became makapag-race ulit sa Formula 1. It's been a while since F1 has a last female racer. Nagkaroon na rin ng female racer but did not went into not became that prestigious ba. But of course, syempre maganda rin na may babae din na makapag-race dito sa top flight, the pinnacle of motorsports.
Pero Sir Aaron, no, speaking of her journey, no, before we talk about anything else, pero ano masasabi mo dun sa journey niya, no, dun sa development niya since bata pa lang siya nag-start na ng racing, no? Pero ano masasabi mo about dito sa career niya, sir? Tapos nandito na sa F1 Academy. Anong masasabi mo? What are your thoughts about that, sir?
Yung kumbaga from go-karts up to F1 Academy, inspirational siya kasi hindi madali yung mga steps na kanyang ginawa. Obviously, and to frankly say it, you need money.
Tama.
Fortunately, Bianca Bustamante got blessing sponsorship backing at kung ano the right way in getting sponsorships para to get her a drive. And at the same time, yung kanyang mga naging training sa go-karts at sa iba't ibang mga series na sinalihan niya prior to joining F1 Academy. Of course, the W Series, which previously was the parang top flights for female racing na medyo kahawig ng Formula 1 until eventually it became F1 Academy. So inspiring siya and hopefully hindi siya ma-discourage na bagamat hindi siya nanalo parang makikita niya na failure yung naging kampanya na hindi. It's just became a struggle. Hopefully magtuloy-tuloy pa siya sa iba pang mga series na sasalihan niya. And definitely, ako personally as an F1 fan, as a racing fan and motorsports fan, ibang klase yung naging achievements niya at yung kanyang advocacy din in promoting female motorsports as well.
All right, very well said, sir. Speaking of F1, no, Max Verstappen, sir, ano masasabi mo? Winning the 4th F1 world title, ano masasabi mo? Very historic ito. Max Verstappen.
Okay. As he always says, it's simply lovely. Yun ang kanyang laging tagline na. Ito yung siguro yung pinakamahirap niyang title since 2021. Of course, 2021 was a season of the ages between yung dati niyang rival si Lewis Hamilton. But dito kasi talaga na-challenge siya. 2023, it was like Max Verstappen. Pag di siya nanalo, ano lang yun, parang chamba na siguro sa ibang mga kakatunggali niya. But this time, there's been gains by McLaren, by Ferrari, and at some point, Mercedes. But eventually, Verstappen, relying on experience, I think siguro yung naging drive, yung magandang simula niya during the first part of the 2024 season. At nung time na humahabol na si Lando Norris kasi nag-gain na ng traction yung kanilang kotse at nakita na nagkaroon ng regression dun sa kotse ng Red Bull powertrains, mga ibang aerodynamic setup hindi nag-work out. But siguro yung naging momentum, yung parang turning moment or fine moment, at least for Max Verstappen, was during the race in Brazil, officially termed the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, na kung saan maulan. Starting from 17th place, he clawed his way back to win that race. And it's siguro a manifestation of greatness personified for the Dutch driver, and well-deserved in winning his 4th World Drivers
And
Championship.
very inspiring din yung kwento niya. Pero, sir, para sa'yo, where does he place among the greats? No? Kasi there's a lot of names in F1, no? Pero para sa'yo, sir, no? Alam ko, this is a hard question for you. Pero kasi F1 fan ka. Para sa'yo, sir, saan ba siya pumapalo dun sa bilang para sa'yo?
Okay, kasi there's always recency bias nga, no? So, you have the greats like, of course, Lewis Hamilton, even though he is struggling, he's one of the greats, if not the greatest. Dahil statistically, he's the greatest of all time, statistically. And then you have also Michael Schumacher, who was the first to reach 7 world titles. And then, way back nung 1950s, nung kasing edad pa lang ng mga lola't lola natin, you have wala pa tayo, Juan Manuel Fangio. And then you have Alain Prost, and then the late Ayrton Senna, of course, Sebastian Vettel, tsaka itong si Max Verstappen. Mahirap siyang i-rate dahil lang yung mga kasing mga tito at tita natin na nauna sa ating F1 fans, ang nagiging dahilan nila kung bakit wala masyadong parang nirank na greatest of all times, objectively, is iba-iba kasi yung era. Yung era kasi nung 50s, 60s, 70s, ibang klase yung kotse. Ito kasi napaka-modern na lahat, may electronics, may chassis, lahat and everything. Doon parang siguro basta may clutch at saka cambio lang, okay na. So maaaring iba mas magaling daw noon, iba sabi ngayon. So siguro let's siguro i-classify na natin sa Mount Rushmore. Di ba sa Mount Rushmore, you have 4 presidents, American presidents. So siguro baka si Max Verstappen getting there, perhaps mahirap tanggalin. Sino tatanggalin niya doon? So you have Hamilton, Schumacher, Fangio, kaya siya, or kaya si Vettel. So definitely, he's perhaps a top 5 or a top 7 amongst the F1 greats. But I cannot question if anyone will say, lalo na sa mga kababayan niyo, will say that Max Verstappen is the greatest, potentially the greatest racer of all time.
Ayan. Nanggaling na mismo.
Galing na mismo sa ating batikang
From Lewis Hamilton fan, by the way. Quick disclaimer.
Pero sir, no, speaking of Lewis Hamilton, no, shocking, very shocking to para sa F1 community. Lalo na shocking team transfer ni Lewis Hamilton from Mercedes to Ferrari, no? Parang nasa, ilan ba yun, sir? 18 seasons, 12 seasons from Mercedes, 246 Grand Prix and 18 drivers championships. Tama ba, sir, if I'm not mistaken? Pero ano masasabi mo about that, sir?
Well, di niya ako pinatulog nung sinabi. Lilipat siya sa Ferrari. But definitely, pangarap niya kasi mag-Formula 1. Of course, talagang he's been blessed with driving for Mercedes throughout his life. Kahit nung dati sa McLaren, Mercedes siya nagmamaneho. Pero yung kanyang decision to go to Ferrari is for a new challenge. Siguro it's part of in life na sometimes habang tumatanda tayo, we would like new challenges. Maaring any one of us will experience it in whatever siguro sa career natin. Maybe we would like to pursue
Hindi ko rin
other.
masisisi kasi 40 na siya next year, right?
40 na siya next
40
year.
na siya next year. So parang siguro naman parang it's time na para tuparin niya yung pangarap naman niya na mag-drive sa ilalim ng Ferrari.
And siya mismo, mayroon siyang Ferrari. I mean, he owns one. You can just search YouTube for that. But of course, syempre, there's also a hint of, kumbaga, a string of disappointment din siguro sa kanyang squad. Nag-promise sila, talagang they were eager to bounce back from that 2021 losing the Drivers' Championship. Although they were the Constructors' Championship pa rin noong 2021. But hindi pinalad sila na ma-retain yung kanilang glory 2022, 2023, 2023. They never won a race. Ito na lang ulit, pero hindi naging maayos yung composition ng kotse nila sa ibang races, sa ibang tracks lang sila or circuits lang sila nagdo-dominate, but this time ito nahirapan sila. So it's like maybe a great move for Lewis Hamilton, who knows, and also a promising one for Mercedes. They have a new kid in Kimi Antonelli, who could be poised to be one of the most exciting and perhaps poised to win more championships for Mercedes, as well as George Russell as well.
Alright, marami pa tayong dapat pag-usapan pero syempre sir, ano na lang, message mo na lang no para sa sports community natin, F1 community, football community, ano masasabi mo about sa kanila, sir?
Alright, of course, first of all, thank you very much to PTV Sports for the invite, and of course, make sure to appreciate and pray for our national athletes, and also like and follow nyo na rin po kami sa RP2 Sports sa RP2 Sports, sa mga programs po namin in supporting and promoting the men and women of our national team sa kanilang quest for Philippine sports glory. Thank you very much po.
Alright. Maraming salamat po, Sir Aaron Bayato, sa inyong oras po dito sa amin sa studio. No?